Well, Q&A time. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? All right. So, first question I got here: favorite Zelda game? Um, whew, that's a tough one. I love Ocarina of Time, but I've been playing Wind Waker again, and Wind Waker is definitely moving up. I'll tell you that much. I do love this game. I love the story. I love Ocarina of Time too, though. So I'm kind of in between those two at the moment. All right. What do you think about the DBZ 2008 special being canon since Battle of the Gods referenced Horrible? Do you think it fits the story? Well, honestly, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't really say as to how well it would fit into the movie story. In terms of the overall series, I don't really think it necessarily contradicts anything overall. I think it's kind of a needless addition. I think it's definitely in character, though, if he turned out to be rather useless or what have you, to have sent him away. Likely to a planet they controlled, but still, send him away. Because, but it's, yeah, I don't know. It just seems kind of needless, I guess, but it doesn't really hurt anything. So it also, however, confirms the notion that Krillin actually is strong enough, or believes he's strong enough to take on Frieza, seeing as he was willing to go after that drawing there. Roshi did it too, but Roshi's Roshi, so. Okay. All right. Will you do a DBZ Battle of the Gods review or give some kind of opinion on the film? Not till I see it. All I've seen are some synopses on the film, which may or may not be true. I've even read some stuff that's stated to have been in the movie that someone else will say was never in it. Until I can actually see it, I'm not going to review it. I'm not going to speak on it. I won't. I can't. This isn't a case of, you can just tell from this or that either what's going on, especially given translation problems, and some people mistakenly translate stuff. Some people, foreign language films are something I really can't review until I see with a proper translation. So, next, okay, number one, what is your opinion on this tropes versus women in video games controversy? What anime? Okay, first let's just tackle that. This is a very delicate topic, so I have to be very careful here. Okay, I think that Anita Sarkeesian does bring up some valid points. She really does. But then there are other points that she'll bring up where she goes way overboard. Apparently, the women in video games who are actually strong women are too strong, so they're butch, and therefore just reskins of men, and therefore not really. It's stuff like that. She goes way overboard. If someone's a princess in the end, then apparently that's a horrible thing because of some. Yeah, it's just blah. She goes way overboard at times. But I've also seen the idiots come back and, for whatever stupid reason, decide, oh, I'm going to prove you right that we're all sexist by leaving every single sexist comment I can possibly think of before you block me. So yeah, honestly, she brings up a valid point, but I don't think she addresses it very well, nor does she really come up so far with any kind of valid solution to this. It just seems to be complaining at this point for the sake of having people complain. Number two, what anime would you like to see get an English dub? Well, most of the anime that I know of that don't have a dub are going to get one, and that's a guarantee. I haven't really watched one that never got dubbed that I really think needed a dub. So, uh, I honestly don't know how to answer that one. I'm sorry. What's your opinion of the DC reboot New 52? Oh. Alright, I'm just gonna. Batman. Okay, Batman, even though they're pretty much continuing like nothing's really changed, at least in the Batman little pocket of the universe, but at the same time, on paper, Batman is stated to have only been Batman for 5 years now. Yet we got a fully grown Robin in the form of Nightwing. We got apparently Jason Todd still out there, and he also was Robin. You got Tim Drake. You got but somehow they were all in the space of 5 years. Then you got Superman, who can bench press a planet, 1/4 of a planet on each limb as part of a daily exercise routine. And yet, he gets caught in the coils of a giant snake. Batman, while he's hopped up on Scarecrow's, fear juice, basically beats the crap out of him to the point where he's bleeding. It's one thing for Superman to, hold back or whatever, especially if he doesn't want to hurt him. It's quite another to, have Batman actually able to draw blood without the aid of what have you. So it's all a mess, and frankly, they have an obscenely sexist attitude toward women as of late. It's just horrible. A good chunk of their women have been turned into, frankly, whores, and I know people are like, oh, that's shaming, you don't do that, tough. You know what, I'm going to do it. Because this was not a part of their character before they did this. They did this specifically to, quote-unquote, sex up the storyline. God. It's just stupid. Do you like the Slayers? Never seen it, so can't tell you. Alright. Next up. Do you think movie fans and fanboys are getting stupider? No context, common sense, understanding of human behavior, like with the Amazing Spider-Man and Man of Steel. I do think that one of the problems with the invention of the internet and this advocacy that, everyone can be a critic now, the problem is a lot of people who don't really understand, the psychology of a film or how it's structured will comment on the film, especially if there's like a pseudo-psychology put in there or there's a lot of deep-sounding quotes in the movie, then they'll argue you can't say that it has no depth, even though, aside from the quotes, it's actually got nothing. There's just a lot of stuff that people do that's just, frankly, kind of stupid. And sadly, even if these days, even if you can back up what you're saying with logic, if you can explain how this works, a lot of times we wind up going right back to, well, that's what I grew up with, so I like it, or I like this better anyways, so tough, or people will actually trash the source material in favor of whatever they happen to like at the time. But that's not really something new. That's been going on for quite a few years now. It's just it's a mentality that's gotten more prevalent, to the point where I honestly think that if Dragon Ball Evolution had been made today, it actually might have been received fairly well. I'm not even kidding. The attitudes that used to horrify a lot of people are now adopting because it has to do with, their favorite comic character or what have you. So it's really kind of... I don't think that anyone's getting stupider. I just think that people are giving up logic for the sake of whatever they enjoy. So, it bugs me. Okay, thought this question would be an obvious one to ask considering your content, and I don't think I've seen any videos on it, but what do you think of GT? Oh, God, people keep asking me, talk about GT. When are you going to do videos on GT? GT. Guys, I have made it clear I don't want to talk about GT for quite a bit of reasons, but honest to God, you want me to say something about it? Fine. It was stupid. It was completely unnecessary. The only remotely redeeming quality about it really is the final arc and the ending. It was a good concept, but it was just terribly executed. I mean, they have one of the first major arcs is based on filler, but then they contradict the filler. You know, with the Tuffles existing, and then, but see, in the filler, it was the Tuffles and the Saiyans had warred years ago, and the Saiyans overwhelmed them because of the Uzaru. But now they're and they were portrayed as barbarians and whatnot. But now in GT, the flashback shows the Tuffles are fighting a technologically advanced Saiyan race, being led by Vegeta's father, King Vegeta himself. You know, this is just the start of problems. There are problems that appear throughout every arc, and they're glaring problems, but people tend to wank over it just because it's got Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and that's really all they care about. It's also why people will complain about GT not, being stupid, but then when they don't put Super Saiyan 4 or specifically Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and make in the games, they get mad, and especially they get mad even if he is in the game, but they don't make him an overpowered SOB. That seems to really tick them off for some reason. But yeah, GT, a lot of really, really bad, stupid, unnecessary holes, and the whole thing just, by and large, was unnecessary. The reason that Dragon Ball Z ended the way it did, Akira Toriyama wanted it to end that way. He wanted to end it in such a way that, it could continue on in the reader's or the viewer's imagination. The story is only as limited as your imagination is. You want to go ahead and find a way to, make the other characters stronger. You want to go ahead and create a new enemy for them to face. You go right ahead. That's the entire point. You wanted to encourage imagination. And I think that's one reason why Dragon Ball was so influential in a lot of the mangaka that exist now, because it sparked their imagination. They were fans of this, and it's like, oh, but this could still happen, what if, and along the way, it eventually inspires them to make their own series. So, honestly, I really do have a deep appreciation for DBZ's ending, and I really don't think that an extra one was needed. But, GT, though, for endings, it was a good ending. I'm not going to lie. It was emotional. There wasn't a bad way to end it, but everything that comes with that ending is just... Anyway, do you hate the over 9,000 meme? I do. I hate Vegeta's Ocean Dub voice, but okay, I'm not going to read this full rant on that. Okay, do I hate the over 9,000 meme, especially since the original line's 8,000, and it makes sense. Kaioken times 3 is 24,000, which is 3 times 8,000. Okay, I'm going to correct that in a minute. But yes, the over 9,000 meme has gotten old, and it really is annoying to see people throw a fit about correcting an error in the series just because it ruins their meme. It really does. It bugs me. It's like that meme's still there. The Ocean Dub still exists. You can still hear it. It's all over YouTube. It's not like it's being flagged, taken down, thrown away. You'll never hear it again. In fact, they even went out of their way to put it back in the TV broadcast version just as a bit of fan service for the people who appreciated it. So, yeah. I don't know why people were so upset about that. Now, in regards to the line being 8,000 and Kaioken times 3 is 3 times 8,000, that's not the case. I'm going to explain why. There were 3 degrees of Kaioken, right? Actually 4 that we saw during that fight. The first, the second, the third, and the fourth. The first he used on Nappa, tried to use it on Vegeta. The second he also tried to use it on Vegeta, not quite enough, so he had to go up to the third. Now, this, contrary to popular belief... Now, see, the reason that I say this is because so many people seem to think that there is no Kaioken period, it's always just the first level is Kaioken times 2. That's not the case. And while the Kaioken does double the power, it's only because the Kaioken itself, for each degree, it multiplies your power by half your base. So for Goku, it was 8,000. Kaioken would add 4,000 onto that, it would become 12,000. Kaioken times 2 would bring it up to 16,000. Kaioken times 3 would bring it up to 20,000, which would put him about on Vegeta's level. It was Kaioken times 4 that got him up to 24,000, which is why he was able to completely overpower him during that struggle. You're welcome to join this DBZ forum. I'm going to stop you right there. I don't do DBZ forums. I don't. I just don't. There are way too many arrogant, self-important people on there that think they know everything. I have dealt with many of them before, many of the more quote-unquote well-known authorities in the forums. And I've argued with them on YouTube, and I've presented evidence of what I was talking about, and they've gotten mad, blocked me on their channels. They seem to think they know specifically what's best, what the series needed, where this went wrong, and it's like, this is fine, why are you picking at it? It's stuff like that. I really don't deal with people in the forums. There's just way too many stupid people who think they're smart. No offense. Alright, thoughts on DC's New 52, already answered that one, so let's move on. Should Beanox make The Amazing Spider-Man 2 the game? What villains would you like to see? What other things would you like to see? I think they should. Honestly, in terms of what I'd like to see, the last one was pretty dang good. It just would have been nice to have some more random stuff happen. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, why didn't they use Rhino or, the iguana or, vermin and have them do... It's like, because even though their missions aren't integral to the story, they are cross-species, meaning they do likely also carry that virus, meaning it would still be out there. So, I don't know. There's really only so much they could do, and eventually you'd get tired of fighting any loose, stray spider slayers or criminals. So, but, having something where they could come up with, like, villains who aren't, like, so intrinsic to plot events would be nice, Like, in a couple of the games, there were, like, these random fights where you'd come across, they weren't even, like, marked on the map, but you'd swing in and, oh, look, there's Rhino destroying things, fight him, Oh, look, there's, Something like that would be nice. In terms of villains, well, obviously the movie villains, but I want to see, honestly, I would like to see Mysterio. I would like to see, who else? Well, let's see, who would make some good fodder? Well, I believe the Kingpin's off the table, so, maybe Silvermane's people or Hammerhead and his people would be nice. Shocker. Bring Shocker back, please. Okay, if you're looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3, which Disney movies or TV shows would you like to see in the game? Well, I, for one, will just be so devastated if they do not do a world based on the hit television series Shake It Up. No, but seriously, I don't know. A lot of people say they want Wreck-It Ralph. That I guarantee that's not going to happen because that's going to present all kinds of other problems. They keep saying, oh, we need to make this happen, but they have the most unrealistic desires for what they want to see in it. They want to see actually all the other video game characters show up in it too, and no, that won't happen. Maybe if they keep it set in like the sort of generic worlds that happen, that'd be okay, I suppose. And I know a lot of people say, oh, they need to do Marvel or Star Wars. Star Wars, maybe. Maybe. I mean, we got swordplay there, we got magic there, sort of, in the form of the Force, so maybe. but Marvel, I don't see that working. A lot of people just want it because they think they'll stick Deadpool in there, and guys, Deadpool ain't for kids, so no, he won't be in there. Okay. Why did Gonzo deviate from the mangas of Hellsing and Rosario Vampire when they had years of manga chapters to adapt from? And what are your thoughts on the Super Saiyan God form and its abilities? Okay, again, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't answer questions about the movie. I can't talk about Super Saiyan God and its abilities because I don't have a good grasp of what they are. I haven't seen them yet. Reading about them is not going to really help in that matter, because then I have to trust that the person describing them to me is giving me a good description and not just a generic one or even overhyping it. As for why Gonzo deviated, I don't know. That's a question you would have to ask them. I don't run that company. I don't know. They probably shouldn't have, seeing as they had the stuff to draw from. But, oh my. But yeah, you definitely have to ask them that. Okay, moving on. Did you see Ocean Dub or Funimation DBZ first? I saw the Ocean Dub first, sadly. And, I actually didn't come back to the series for a very, very, very long time. I saw the Ocean Dub back when they were training for, it was the episode right before the Pendulum Room. It had aired on Cartoon Network, and I just, the voices annoyed me so much that I never came back until honestly, until Trunks. Shortly after Trunks, the androids, a friend got me to watch the tape. I was at a sleepover for a birthday party when I was about 13, I think. And, yeah. I wound up liking the series a little bit more because the voices were more tolerable. And, yeah, I wound up, getting into that. But Ocean, no. The Ocean Dub honestly almost put me off Dragon Ball permanently, sadly. What anime do you hate other than Naruto? Well, Bleach, honestly. Not at all fond of Bleach, but there's reasons behind that. That I really don't want to get into right now. Other series. I'm trying to think. Were there other series that I've seen that I really didn't like? Definitely not too fond of Code Geass, especially the ending, the final portions of it. Air Gear. Hate that. Not terribly fond of most of the Gundam series, but I wouldn't say I hate them. I just think they're kind of stupid half the time. That's really all I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure if I really sat down and thought about it, I could come up with more, but meh. I don't want to sit here that long. Have you ever seen the Indiana Jones movies, and did you like them? Yes, I've seen them all. I liked most of them. In terms of quality ranking, Raiders, Last Crusade, Temple of Doom, and then all the way at the bottom of the heap is the sad little brother, the Crystal Skull. Top 10 favorite Dragon Ball. Ooh, I can't really do top 10, I don't think. Oh, it worries me. Okay. I'll try. First place, Krillin. Second place, Android 18. Third place, Goku. Fourth place, Piccolo. Fifth place, Gohan. Sixth place, Trunks. Seventh, Frieza. Eighth, Cell. Ninth would be probably Shoot, who's number 9? Number 9, probably, Tao. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Wait, did I say not? How many am I on? Krillin, 18, Goku, Piccolo, Gohan, Trunks, Frieza, Cell. Yeah, okay, I'm on 8. 8 is Tao. There we go. 9 would be Tien, and 10 would probably be Master Roshi. Manga Roshi. Anime Roshi got significantly pervier and dear God. It's honestly one of the things that frustrates me about the anime is how they overdid Roshi's perverted nature. It even comes through in very, very inappropriate times that it doesn't happen in the manga. So, you know, and that's it for this time. Oh wait, there was one more. Somebody asked me if I would consider doing a review of Oremo, and the answer is no. I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole. Okay, so yeah, that is it for this Q&A. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you found out some interesting stuff. Plan on doing this again before too long, and guys, don't be afraid to deviate away from the topic of Dragon Ball, please. You know, I do more stuff than that. So, at any rate, I will catch you guys next time, and see ya.